Welcome back to Those Digitals. Today on Ep.4, we're going to be talking about the craziness going all over the world. So let's get started. Come on. So guys, how was y'all's day?
Good.
I had a great day until I heard the news of the Willow Project. We're going to talk about that today. But we got some other interesting stuff happening with Bad Bunny. What's going on with Bad Bunny, Jordan?
So Bad Bunny, this is how it all started. Bad Bunny and Kendall Jenner got caught leaving the club at the same time, but not together. So then all these rumors started speculating, and they were like, oh, they're together. But then when everything was confirmed was when they caught Kendall Jenner and Bad Bunny kissing in a parking lot, like a garage parking lot. And everybody was just so mad about it. They're all so mad about it for no reason.
When you say everybody?
Like everybody, even my cousin.
Like, why are people mad
Because
about Kylie? Was it Kylie Jenner?
Kendall
Jenner?
Kendall
Jenner.
Kendall Jenner.
So Kendall Jenner.
They're mad because, why are they mad? Like,
Jenner's
their reasons are because that Bad Bunny says like he dates Latinas and stuff.
Isn't Kendall Jenner Latina?
No, she's like Armenian.
Oh.
Isn't she?
Yeah.
I mean,
or of like Armenian descent or whatever. Right?
Oh yeah.
I think. I don't know. But Twitter world is
Wait.
like up in arms. Like at least all the
They're
girls
mad,
that
bruh.
I are on my Twitter feed, they're all like, "How could you, Benito?" or whatever.
Benito.
It
Yeah,
was a personal attack to everyone.
yeah.
They're all mad, bro.
what about you, Jenny? How do you feel about that?
I don't
You
really care
jealous?
for it.
No, but like, what would you? Because ideally, like, Bad Bunny is supposed to date a Latina. That's what they're saying. How do you feel about
That's what they're saying.
a Latino having to date a Latino? Is that? Do you agree with that? Disagree? What do you think?
I don't care.
So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter
doesn't
to
matter,
me.
yeah.
Like, he can go and date whoever he wants. At the end of the day, like, all these girls that are like getting mad about it, like, he's not gonna care. He doesn't see that, or maybe he does, but he's not gonna care. He's Bad Bunny,
And it's Kendall Jenner.
and it's Kendall Jenner. So
He throws people's phones into
That'll
the
be some
distance.
cool
Yeah.
babies.
wait, what?
That'll be some cool babies.
Be interesting.
Some good bunnies and bad bunnies.
I don't
Good
understand
buddies.
the hate. Like, why? Okay, like she's not a Latina, but she's a billionaire, right? Am I wrong? Or she is.
Yeah.
She is.
Wait.
She's related to one, that's for sure.
She's
Oh
rich. I
well,
don't know.
she's billionaire adjacent at least. Like
But Bad Bunny is
Yeah.
Bad Bunny, bro. There's only one Bad Bunny. There's
That's
a lot of
true.
billionaires out there.
that's true.
Wait, can they see Josh this time?
They
Yeah,
can
they
see
can
Josh,
see him.
yeah.
Oh, they can see Josh this
Yeah.
time.
I don't
They-
like going back to what you were asking, like how do I, or like why does a Latino have to date like a Latina or whatever? I don't think that's like a necessary thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
why? I don't get
Yeah.
it. Like
It's like J-Lo. Why is she dating Ben Affleck when there's a lot of guys out here, a lot of Latinos?
For
Yeah.
real?
yeah, they're like engaged, aren't
They're
they?
engaged. Ben
What?
Affleck.
Or married, one or the other.
Yeah, but double standards. Here we go. Double
Yeah.
standards.
Like everybody's like, yeah, J-Lo, get that white person.
Yeah, like exactly.
Like why not be up in arms about that? I guess it's I don't know. I think it just has more to do with like the female fan base that is like super pro
Yeah.
Bad Bunny
For the record, I'm not a Bad Bunny
fan.
Fan.
Bad Bunny.
That's
Yeah.
like a tongue twister.
Bad Bunny fan.
Not a fan of his music at all. So.
Why not?
For real? Like,
His
you don't
new
like?
album was really good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
it
don't like the messaging behind the music.
Oh, okay.
It's very like
I understand like half of it. So
goes against everything I believe in.
That makes
yeah.
sense.
And it's hard to like tell somebody that it's not really. It's like I feel like Bad Bunny is a great artist, musician, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like he's missing like the magic to become. When I say magic, is like what, like for example, like what Kanye has that could transcend Michael
so
Jackson.
I was thinking Kanye
He does.
in my
He's
head.
not at like. There's Michael Jackson. There's Kanye. There's Elvis, and there's all these. Bob Dylan, and then like there's like a couple layers down. There's like Eminem, right?
Yeah.
And then like Bad Bunny's like under. That's the way I feel.
I feel the opposite. I
Like
feel
if they were like
Bad Bunny is
ABC.
better than Eminem for me. Like 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
like a
wasn't
completely
really like a
different
Bad Bunny
genre.
fan at all until like very recently, until his last album, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what? I feel this. Also, I was kind of heartbroken when it came out, so it like
I was about to
coincided.
say that, but I didn't want to
He
say
was
that.
a bad boy.
I did not want to say that.
It coincided, but no, like it's just hard to deny good music to a certain point. You know what I mean? Like I understand that it's maybe not like what you want to listen to if you're. It's not true because I've listened to it like on a long drive or whatever, but it's
By yourself, like like
Yeah,
bobbing your
like-
head and shit.
It's because it's get like, even though the content of the lyrics is kind of like emo, first of all, like Latino emo, sad boy hours music. Would you agree? Like kind of.
If you had to
Right?
put,
Yeah.
if you had to put like a book title to like that encapsulates his entire catalog, what would it be?
Drake in Spanish.
Oh man,
Really?
That's what it is. That's
You
what it
just-
is. If you
nah,
just
bro.
translate
don't do
I
me.
Bad
don't-
Bunny's.
Your heart is hard to carry after that.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
dude. He has you know, like badass like sad songs that are like sad, like that have the sad.
I guess
beat
I haven't had a
and the
chance
lyrics.
to like really listen to his music. It just never connects with me.
And it took
Am I
me a
just too
minute
old?
for it to like connect. No, I don't think so, because like I'm almost 30.
I mean, I like Bronco.
Damn.
I like, I like old school music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like Bob Dylan. Like I like old shit too.
What was
And
that?
you're telling me like I on a daily basis, mostly like 95% of my music is just like 90s hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I get it. But I think if I don't know, he's a good artist in my opinion. And if I had to like give you like a comparison, he's like Drake in Spanish essentially.
Oh man, that sounds like a Sheehan version of Drake.
Shit.
That's the way you're making it sound.
I don't know if it's Sheen, but like it's
Shein.
Sheen, whatever.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Like he's like a Walmart version or something.
Not the Walmart. Sheehan is like
So what
Shein.
would Drake be? Like Gucci?
Drake is Gucci. Yeah.
And then you're saying Bad Bunny is Shein.
No, I didn't say that. Josh said that.
I didn't say that. I'm saying that
I
he's
thought
like
you said that.
Well, based on what he's like the Spanish
the
version,
lyrical
like-
content of it is comparable to like if you literally just translate it into English, you could be like Drake wrote this song.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what I understood from you.
That's what I'm saying.
Not the Shein version.
All right.
'Cause I feel like he covers about the same type of material.
I think you know what I've been a little bit triggered because I had a like little discussion one time about who's the better like artist,
Uh-huh.
and that I'm not gonna name names, but this girl was telling me that Bad Bunny was better than Kanye West, and I was like, "There's no chance.
That's a reach.
Oh,
There's
that-
no
Yeah.
chance."
Yeah.
And she was trying to debate it against me, and I was like, "You know what? Tell me like what the music's about." And she couldn't tell me because it was insulting to herself. And I was like, "Got you.
Gotcha.
I got you. You don't even want to tell me what your artist sings about." So, yeah.
Which again, I think there's going to be
Parents.
parallels to like even some of the stuff that Kanye does
Oh,
in
yeah.
terms of the lyrical
Yes,
content.
yeah.
Just because a lot of it is heavily based on like females and like objectification and stuff like that, or like, you know, like having money and being able to spend it. Like they're all again very similar themes. It's rap, it's just in Spanish versus like how we grew up listening to rap like as an English thing.
It's more like Bobby Brown in Spanish.
Yeah, like an R&B-ish. I don't know.
I'm playing. That was a reach, but yeah.
Like kind of, but yeah,
But he's
I
dating
wouldn't-
Kendall Jenner, so
Yeah.
who am I to fucking talk, you know?
Yeah,
Kendall Jenner.
that means
Bad
that
Bunny.
his career is going to be destroyed very soon. If you know,
You think?
if
I
we
mean-
follow the pattern of all the like the
Well, you got to think about it like
Kardashians,
What
Jenners,
pattern?
Yeah, what pattern?
all the Kardashians / Jenners women, when they date somebody, that person just kind of like falls apart.
Lamar Odom.
Lamar Odom,
Who's
Kanye
that?
West.
Well,
Tristan
Kanye West
Thompson.
became a billionaire after he
True.
started dating Kim.
Wait, so what about Dan Booker? He's doing good, right?
Devin Booker got injured in the playoffs.
Yep,
Oh,
didn't win.
Didn't win when he was supposed to.
True.
They had a
Didn't
3-1
win.
lead.
Yep,
Um,
there you go. See, it's the curse.
it's in
I hope
effect.
not.
But I'll just to defend Kendall here. Kendall Jenner. Like Bad Bunny is peaking right now. Like how much bigger can he get? Like he needs to like
Yeah,
it's
like
hard to
he-
say that like you can only go one way once you're too high.
Down or what?
Yeah, like not necessarily down, but like how much
Like
how much
plateau
more
or
amazing.
something?
Yeah, you're gonna you get so good at what you're doing. He's at the height of his career, right? The only thing he can do is like become like The Rock, where he's like the top paid actor in the world, or I don't know, like
That's true.
become like a Michael Jackson, where he like makes music that everybody can listen to, including guys like me that we can't connect to stuff like that. You know, so
I think
it's hard for him to reach a new level. That's what I mean.
I hear you, and I think that you're basing. I don't know. This is my opinion on like your perspective, so I may be wrong, but I feel like maybe basing it on just
You're wrong.
what gets played, what just gets played, like it is catchy, because there's deeper cuts that are not just like you're not gonna want to hear that, and like a girl's not just want to like shake her booty like at the club to that. type
See,
of Bad
that's what-
Bunny. Like
okay.
there's deeper cuts. Like
I like
for sure.
what you just said because that's probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just haven't listened to the other songs,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna give it a try. But one thing I used to debate Jeff, that's not here. He's supposed to be there, sitting down. He's not here today.
Empty seats.
Empty seat to the third episode in a row. Jeff used to debate me about Drake and Kanye. Right, we'd always have that debate. And one time, what really changed it for me with Drake was when he released that album with Gordo, which was like completely different than all his other albums. So you were able to, I was able to see a different version of Drake that I hadn't experienced, and then it was like I call it a funnel because in marketing we use funnels, right?
Right.
I call it like it funneled me into his other music, and then I started listening to his old albums for the first time. So think about it's like if you're in a coma for like 10 years, right? And you don't listen to any, like you don't watch what's like a whole, like the Game of Thrones. You don't watch you don't watch any of the 8 seasons or whatever. And all of a sudden you wake up from a coma and you're like rewatching it for the first time. And I went down the rabbit hole in the whole Drake movement. And now I'm a Drake fan.
Here's my counter to what you're saying. He still just copied Kanye doing that. Because what did Kanye do after doing like so many hit albums? He was like, oh, you know what? Guess what? 808s and Heartbreak. Completely different.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
808 Heartbreak became the template for the Weeknd and everybody else. But
Yep. Yep. But I'm a fan of both, so I don't
I'm a fan of a fan of everybody. I'm a fan of Bad Bunny too. I just can't listen to the music. Like it doesn't connect with me. That's it.
I just like the beat and stuff.
I
And
think
the lyrics are like,
well, that's what Kanye talks about. Where like you put it like you put one of those beats, and it doesn't matter what you say on top of it.
Runaway.
Point
or
in
like,
case, lift
I like
yourself.
the lyrics. But
Or case in point, lift yourself. The song.
Yeah.
The Poopty Scoop.
oh, scoop to the poop. Poop to the scoop. Yeah. That one,
Yeah.
that one was.
It's like
what
such
the
a good
heck?
song, but there's nothing is happening in the lyrics, dude.
Yeah. So it goes to show that going back to the 4 agreements, we're not talking about it. We haven't spoken about it today, but it's like one of the 4 agreements, like be impeccable with your word, means like whatever you say out loud or think in your thoughts or listen to has an influence, a direct influence in your life. And a lot of people don't know that you just said something like, I just like the beat. But behind the beat is somebody's voice saying, fuck, suck, like cheat, and all these things. And that's programming you to like the way you think. So be impeccable with what you listen to. Like be conscious of what you're listening to, regardless of the hype.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Kendall Jenner. What, by the way, Kendall Jenner? What
So
were you saying about
are you
Kendall Jenner?
guys a fan of the relationship or no? You got to vote against.
I don't.
Against or for,
I'm only a fan if he pops out like 3 babies with her.
right?
Yeah.
Now we're doing it right.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I want her to be with Dan Booker.
Like if they're just like single and like traveling the world and like, nah, that's not exciting.
Yeah.
I want him to have like a family, like, you know?
That's super against the grain of like everything now, right?
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
I feel like that would be super cool.
But what do they need to travel the road alone to have babies?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm thinking like long term.
Yeah, like if they're together for like a long time, you know.
Because Kendall
I mean,
would have like some really dope babies with Bad Bunny.
Probably.
Do you agree?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'd be tall.
Is she
True.
tall?
Yeah, she's tall.
She's tall, like for a female.
Or is she like
How tall is
5'10",
she?
5'11"?
I don't know, but she's a model, so
How tall is Bad Bunny?
She could wear her heels.
I mean, Bad Bunny wears
tall.
boots in movies and shit.
Bad Bunny
he's
is like
cool.
your
Movies?
average height. I
Yeah,
wanna
he
say
came out in
he's-
this movie with Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
the train.
Oh, Bullet
train
Train.
guy. Oh, they
I
got Bullet
saw
Train.
that.
He's a badass
Yeah.
actor, by the way. He should do more films.
Bullet
Yeah.
Train? Did I see that one?
He was in Narcos Mexico too, but he had like a very minor role, so it wasn't like, I couldn't be like, yeah, he did well or whatever. You know what I mean?
One thing I
Yeah,
do
I like
love
that.
about Bad Bunny is his come up story. That is fucking inspiring.
What's
So-
his come up story?
I don't know it.
So I'm not gonna say it today because I don't know the details of it.
Yeah.
But I've heard it multiple times from different people,
Mm-hmm.
and
I saw an interview
It's
on
a
the very first
rags
track.
to riches story.
Yeah, pretty exactly. It's exactly that.
Like it's almost like impossible to do what he did in the fashion he did it in the way he's doing it right now, and then the fact that he's singing in Spanish, like he's not even singing the language that people listen. Like it's like
it's not the
Yeah.
predominant language.
it's not the predominant language in the U.S. and he's still the number 1 artist, number 1 played on Spotify.
For real?
Yeah,
Yeah.
number 1 played
Oh,
Over
wow.
Drake. Yeah.
over Drake. Correct.
So
I
check
didn't
this
know
out. I was curious, right, on how tall Bad Bunny was, and it's cool because I looked it up. Everybody guess. Jordan.
5'9".
5'10".
5'11".
Jeff is right. He's 5'11", and then it gave me like
I
other.
meant 5'11". My bad.
That was my guess too. I was like 5'10", 5'11". But all right, so Bad Bunny is 5'11". Kendall Jenner is 5'10", so she's actually kind of tall, yeah. And
Damn, she's 5'10".
this is okay. That's a crazy height. This next
Big
height
ass bunnies.
is even crazier. Arcangel is 4'8".
Who's
Who's that?
He's like a reggaeton artist,
Uh-huh.
or like bachata, or both.
4'8".
Yeah, he comes out in one of the most recent singles that he dropped called "La Yompa." It's him and Bad Bunny, or Bad Bunny and him, whatever.
Oh,
But he's the guy that discovered Bad Bunny.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I was watching an interview. I might have this wrong, but I'm pretty sure I don't. I was watching an interview where it's literally exactly what you're saying. One of the very first songs that came out with Bad Bunny before he was like ever big or whatever is called "Tu no vives así" or something like that.
You don't live
Or
like that.
No vives así, and he was like on Instagram live, just like rapping his verse or whatever. And one of the producers that works with Arcangel saw it and was like, dude, you got to check this guy out. He's like the next big fucking thing. And then like they got him into the studio, they made the track and shit, and the rest was like history. Like it just blew up like
Okay, so I've
crazy.
Yes.
That was insane. And I've heard the song and I was like, damn, like it's a good song.
It's a good song.
Yeah. Anyways, what was the next topic?
So next topic, we got the Willow Project. So, Jenny, tell us about it, bro.
What's going on with the Willow Project? What is the Willow
Very
Project?
sad.
Like, there's a movie called Willow. That was one of my favorite movies as a kid. That's all I know about the Willow.
Really?
Yeah.
What
I was
it
thinking
about?
when I heard of this Willow Project thing, I thought you were talking about Willow Smith.
Same.
I thought it
Right.
was like
I was like,
something I don't
It's gonna be like a really good movie.
something about like nature, something nice, like something nice. But then like I like
It's about
read about
nature.
it and it's like sad. They basically want to sell Alaska and drill for oil over
Yeah.
there. And well, they passed on the project, so they're gonna do it.
Like,
but it's
there's Joe Biden behind
yeah,
it.
Joe Biden, and a lot of people are mad at him because before, like when he was like running
Running?
for president, he was saying how he was gonna like stop climate change, and then here he is like passing a law to like make it worse, and it's just upsetting a lot of people, and it's like this man is gonna die soon, and he's not even gonna be here for it. And
Wait, but they passed it even after all like the letters they sent to the White House?
yeah, they sent like over 1 million letters to the White House to stop it, and they even made a petition.
They could have
for
just
it.
emailed.
For real, right? maybe it was emails.
They're like, save the world. Send the letter in
Wait,
paper.
no, yeah, emails. Wait, what? Was
You
it-
said
was it-
mail.
I mean, it's
Email.
either or. I'm sure.
Email.
No, but like,
I
okay,
meant
so
email. My bad.
so yeah, so what's the effect of this? Like, what's
Yeah,
gonna
what is it gonna do?
Oh, there
What's the
were
purpose, bro?
the what?
Like the purpose of it. What was?
like so based on what you sent me earlier today.
Oh, well, like what Biden is saying is that it's gonna like open more jobs for people
Yeah,
and like
it's not like anybody
more
wants to
money.
work.
In Alaska?
Yeah,
or
like
what?
more money, but like ultimately it's gonna
Kill the
destroy environment and like wildlife as well, and like especially like the polar bears, and they've already been like
Aren't they already like suffering and stuff?
yeah
Like all the ice is melting, and there's like no food for them, and they're all like skinny and stuff.
yeah.
Like the polar bears, like
As
the
soon as they drink a lot of Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola bears.
Sure, they need
Be quiet.
to get on that food, bro.
No, but on a serious
The
note, so
mezcal.
it's killing a lot of wildlife.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's releasing a lot of carbon dioxide.
Yeah,
to
carbon like millions. Like they said, like millions of
200
barrels, over 200 million barrels of like carbon dioxide
will be released
Per
in the
Yeah.
next-
per
per
year.
year because of this deal.
Yeah,
And the benefit of having this deal is what? What is like
basic money.
money?
Yeah, the market.
Mm.
What about the polar bears, bro? What are we gonna do without polar bears? Everybody loves Coca-Cola, and they're like Coca-Cola's little mascot.
What are we gonna do with? Have y'all ever seen a polar
So-
bear?
No,
I've never seen a
that's
polar
why
bear.
we need to see a polar
Who's-
bear.
I've never seen a polar bear either, but I wanted to talk about climate change in general. This is like,
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not an expert, of course, obviously,
Yeah.
but there's things that I think that are like probably too far fetched to do, and maybe like not a lot of people understand like what the actual consequences would be, right? So like, first of all, like I understand the economic approach like to the policy because it makes sense. We're kind of in a downturn ever since like COVID. Well, yeah, I guess like ever since COVID happened and then like Biden took office and whatnot. But even if we are polluting, we're only polluting like half as much as China. Right? So like that's first of all, right? Like
Yeah, but China's like
we're weakening like ourselves by trying to like abide by things that aren't necessarily super feasible because we still don't have a better way to create energy or at least more efficiently than like fossil fuels. Or
yeah.
and also if like burning more fossil fuels releases more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, don't plants use carbon dioxide to make oxygen? Wouldn't that mean that they're just going to like absorb more of that carbon dioxide and be healthier? Or am I misunderstanding how that works?
I think in a natural balanced ecosystem, yes. But when you release like, it's like you're saying like a car runs on gas, right? But if you throw like a ton of gas on the car, it's gonna fucking explode. That's what the analogy is. Like you can't release all this at once, especially year over year.
But I don't.
By the way, I'm no expert. I'm just going based on what I read.
Neither am I, and that's my point. With like, I don't necessarily think that. Not that climate change isn't real. I mean, it's real, right? Like the weather has been changing. There's patterns that we can see, but I think that there's like longer cycles over longer time frames that may indicate that like it's not necessarily something that we're causing altogether. Like we play a factor in it, but I think from what I've read, which I may be 100% wrong. If I am, that's fine. But I think that there's like cycles that the planet goes through on like larger timescales that we don't take into consideration that like a lot of people on one side of the aisle, political aisle or the other, may use to like influence people to do whatever it is that they want to do.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm confused with everything. But yeah.
I'm lost.
I just feel like all problems, you know how we say China, we say this, we say Biden, like all these finger
China.
It all goes down to like the natural way of living. So like if you consume a lot and everybody consumes a lot, then these things start happening to the world. So it's like it goes down to like the way every human lives this world is what causes these big changes, these big catastrophes and stuff like that. So we have to figure out like what exactly should a human do from the time they wake up to the time they go to sleep, and how they live that every aspect of what we do. Like we gotta really examine how we live day to day, how we consume, how we entertain, how we travel, communicate. Everything needs to be put into like this, like a think tank of like the best minds of the world, and figure out like this is the way humans should actually live for the world to be. I don't want to call it utopian, because utopian sounds kind of freaky.
Yeah, it always has like a negative connotation.
Yeah, but
what do you mean, like utopian?
Utopian is like everybody has
Ideal.
like the same.
Oh,
like
okay.
Everything.
Okay.
Like it's almost like perfect. Have you read The Giver before?
Like
What?
The Giver, the book The Giver.
No.
where it's like black and white.
Yeah,
Yeah, I read that in like 8th grade.
yeah, I read it in 6th grade. But so the Giver is about a utopian society and how everybody kind of like everything's perfect.
Aren't they like in domes?
They're in. Well, I don't remember clearly. Like I mean, I read it a long time ago, but the last chapter, it becomes color, right?
Yeah, like
Sorry for ruining it.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
the movie too. It was black and white.
I haven't seen the film.
There's a
but-
movie after this. That's cool.
But so ideally, like we need to figure out like what is, like for example, give an example. How often do you guys buy clothes?
I wouldn't say that often.
Like every other week.
Okay,
That's fairly often.
so back like 50 years ago, even like 20 years ago, we would buy clothes like once a year. That's truth, right, Josh?
Okay, well
Wow.
then often, I guess.
So it's becoming to the point where people buy clothes every day.
Every day.
They order things every day. So what is that costing? Like what's the cost and effect of those habits? Once you break down the habits, you realize that the problems of the world are not being caused by Joe Biden. They're not being caused by China, or like the habits of the problems of the world are caused by the habits of the most powerful people in the world, which are Americans. We are the drivers of what causes the problems
We are the problem.
in the world.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, yesterday, like after reading about it, like after finding out about it, and it's like I was thinking about how like one person will like litter one tiny little wrapper, but like now imagine like a bunch of people doing that. It's just like
Exactly.
and it's like it just
It's
becomes
just
a much.
right.
And I was like, damn,
Compounds.
yeah.
Supposedly that when we were in COVID lockdown, that climate change was doing better, because like no one could really go out,
Yeah.
and supposedly that
Oh,
everything
yeah,
was getting
there
better
was,
those
like,
years that we were like
lakes.
locked in.
Like the water.
How many years was that?
2.
What? COVID?
Two,
Of like full lockdown, maybe like close to 1 in
one.
total.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then even after that, everybody was kind of still like,
Didn't it
Very
feel like
cautious.
10 years or something like that?
I felt long. That
It
COVID
feels
period.
weird even now, like coming out of it. Like,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird to like go stores.
It's like I don't know. Like it feels like it paused, but like it kept going at the same time. So it just I don't know. It just feels weird.
That's interesting to me, like the way time is perceived. So like back in the days, during like the Jesus times, people would live like 40 years, 45 years, shorter lifespans.
Yeah.
But they would do more in their life. They would explore more, do more, right? With less time. And now that we get to live a little bit longer, 70, 80 years, some people live up to 100. It feels like time flies by, like you do less.
Time flies by, that's for sure.
So it's
But
like
I think it's
time
probably,
perception is changing.
I mean, yeah, I feel like because of innovation, we've become a lot more efficient at doing things. So although it may seem like we're doing less, I feel like we're doing more.
Yeah. It's like FaceTiming somebody from across the world.
instead of like
Like,
traveling
you're-
on foot to them.
Yeah.
Or I mean, it's just
But
like,
the experience is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the experience of how you the time perception. Like when you sit down in a room, right? In like a classroom, you guys are still going to school. Like you feel like you're there for like 6 hours, but you were only there for like an hour and 10 minutes or whatever the class
Oh
period
yeah.
is, right? Versus like you're out at a party. Not that you guys go to parties. You shouldn't be going. But you're at a
We're
party,
locked in.
6 hours feels like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
if you put that in the perspective of like technology, right? Like having access to technology versus back in the days, you would probably feel like you experience a longer lifetime in the shorter time period years ago versus now.
That's true.
And there's no way to prove it though, so I'm right.
So
there's no
Prove me wrong,
just
bitches.
no argument.
I think I know what you mean. Is like there was more analog experience, like everything was more externalized, right? Like versus now, like a whole work day you could just be sitting in front of like a screen, for example.
Yeah.
Versus like back then, like it was more like vocational stuff or like by trade, where if you're a butcher, for example, or like a baker or a blacksmith or something, like it's all with your hands. It's all analog. It's all like in the real world or whatever you want to call it.
Base reality.
Base reality.
That just reminds me, like how you said, like being in the classroom, it feels like way longer, and it would feel even like more longer when it's like cold, and then like when you're uncomfortable in the
Or
desk.
sleepy.
Yeah,
sleepy,
everything just
cold.
feels way longer like that. I was just
Like a subject you're not interested in
don't miss that.
at all.
Yeah, well that reminds me of the film Vanilla Sky, which we've seen it together.
oh yeah, that was.
Where
I love that movie.
spoiler alert, you haven't seen it. Tom Cruise, which is like uber rich in this film, goes to a traumatic experience and then ends up signing the contract to a company where they pretty much freeze him, and then he can choose when to die. But throughout his whole experience moving forward, he's connected to this machine that allows him to simulate real life. So he's living in the simulation, right?
I'm still confused about the movie. So.
Yeah, so he's living in the simulation, but he doesn't know that he's living in the simulation. He forgot that he signed this contract. So there's this guy that appears to him throughout the film that's like being sent by the company that does this to like tell him to like, don't freak out. Like you're good. Like don't freak out. Like because he's freaking out. Like he's slowly getting.
Oh, like he's
Like
like
aware?
realizing that he's in a simulation like that.
Yeah, he's realizing he's in simulation slowly, but there's a guy sent to him to like kind of calm him down. And at the end of the movie, it's revealed that he was in the simulation the whole time, and
Wait,
they take him back to like where he signed the contract to go through the experience. But going back on time perception is like he's pretty much frozen, and he's gonna live on forever in this experience
yeah,
until he decides one day, like, okay, I'm ready to die.
like die for real.
Die for real, yeah.
That's I haven't seen that movie in such a long time that like listening to you explain the concept of it makes me feel like I've never seen it before.
Wait,
No, I know I
bro.
have. Like,
So
I know
I've
I
seen
have.
it like in my lifetime. I've seen it like 5 or 6 times in different eras, and every time I see it, it feels like I watched it again for the first time.
Yeah.
Wait, when did the whole simulation start? Like before or after the accident?
It started after the accident.
Like when he started seeing his face like messed up,
Well,
Yeah.
his face got messed up, right, because of the accident.
and that was real.
That was real,
Okay.
which caused him to seek, like he was about to commit
and
suicide.
That's why he went to
Yeah.
sign the contract.
Correct.
Oh,
From what I recall, I need to watch it again at this point, but that's one of my favorite
that movie
films, man.
confused me.
Damn, I need to watch it again. That
Yeah,
movie's
we
crazy.
should.
I haven't seen it in such a, like I've literally maybe seen it like twice in my lifetime, and the last time was like 20 years ago or something like that.
Oh my
Well,
god.
by the way,
Yeah.
so this might be possible now, like with those like chips, like those like you talking about earlier today.
Brain computer interfaces.
Yeah, those.
Oh, the brain implants, kind of.
Mhm. That might be. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm a fucking scientist.
But I mean, if that's possible, then that's
It's
pretty
like
possible too.
right, yeah. It's like version 1. It's like we're at the Atari level right now with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said about the AI, how it's just like we're here right now, and then like the next one's like this big.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a very like almost like we're that character that Tom Cruise is playing in Vanilla Sky. Like we're getting closer and closer to realizing,
Yeah.
oh shit, maybe we're in a simulation as we get like better
Yeah.
at creating technology that's gonna bridge the gap between like man and machine. Like I feel like
Yeah.
it's inevitable almost.
Well, there's this like conspiracy theory that I read up on where you know how Elon Musk is like talking about going to other planets and all this.
Right.
Well, the conspiracy is that they're actually building a technology that would allow you to live, like let's say in a capsule, right? Where your entire reality for your entire existence is in a different world, but it's also in Earth. So ideally what would happen is like you would, let's say I'm about to have a kid. I can decide whether I want him to live in this world on Earth or in this virtual simulation where he's plugged in his entire life. He'll never know and he'll never experience what we experience, but it's a new world that's more of a utopian society.
Like the movie with Florence Pugh and Harry Styles.
I haven't
Which
seen
one's-
that.
I don't think I've seen it. Which one, what's it called?
What's it called, Jordan?
Darlene or something like that.
Don't worry, darling.
Don't worry, Darlene.
Yeah.
Don't worry, darling. I don't know. I haven't heard about it.
That one
Yeah.
was a good plot twist.
That was freaky. Yeah.
So yeah, in the near future, you'll not near future, but in the future, you will be able to elect where you want to actually live and grow up and experience. What do you want to experience? You want to experience Earth or this other simulation that was created for humans?
Illuna City.
Luna City. Yeah.
I
That's-
mean,
I-
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I think that's cool, but it's also like maybe it's gonna be like the new way to live. Like it won't be
Yeah.
any like different for the people who actually are like living in that time.
Yeah, they won't know the difference.
But like, let's say
They
like
will not know that they
it's
don't live.
transitioning from like now to them. It's gonna be weird for like us to see them like happening, see us seeing it happen to them, and then like at some point it's just everybody's gonna be like that, and there's gonna be like no more of us.
Well,
living
AI
this
will
life.
take over.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like the first signs of like moving in that direction are all already there. You know, like if you take a step back from like all the stuff that has been being advanced in tech recently, you know, like Neuralink, Chat GPT with like what they just released,
GPT-4.
GPT-4, just how much better or how much stronger processors are getting, like the introduction of like quantum computing, things of that nature. Like all the little dots are already there. You just got to like connect them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To like move to that end.
Yeah.
I mean, even what was the metaverse and everything, like that's already there. Like there's already people that go into like virtual reality, like games and hang out with each other or just like chill and whatnot. Like now it looks weird, right? Because you have like a screen on your face.
Yeah.
But that's like again like version 1.
Yeah, but you now have a chip.
Or some contact lenses.
Yeah.
or you're just literally in a pod like in the Matrix.
No, you're
or
like
whatever.
literally connected directly to the simulation.
Like
Yep.
in Don't Worry, Darling. Like, do y'all mind if we like spoil a little bit?
Oh yeah, I can spoil it. Yeah, go
Spoiler
for it.
Like
I don't care
in
about
Don't
it.
Worry, Darling, she was like in a bed. What was she connected to?
I'm
Like-
not sure what she was connected to.
So like
but-
the whole movie, it was like how you guys said, like a utopian. Like everybody had like the same routine every day. Like the wives would stay home and like cook and clean and like just be a housewife, and like they would go to ballerina class, and then the husbands would go to work every day, but like the wives never knew where they were going to work.
Yeah,
So-
they just the whole time they're just saying like, oh, they're working on something big, like something new.
Oh yeah, like but they never knew what they were
Yeah.
actually working on. But when they would go to work, they were going like back to real life to actually
Yeah.
provide money so they could stay in this simulation.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So the whole time
Oh,
the
yeah,
wives
this is-
didn't know. They were just like on the bed, like knocked out.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
I feel like
So
I
what
saw
was
the trailer
purpose?
for this movie.
What was the purpose of the wife?
Because
To
like
give
in
them,
their base reality, like they were struggling with money, and like she was always like she was a nurse, I think,
Yeah.
and so she was like working day in and day out, and like they just didn't have enough to provide for themselves, and like I guess he took it like upon himself to like do that, and when she found out, like she was obviously like mad, like she was
Like,
fighting, she was fighting, but yeah, that was the point. And
It's an
And-
interesting concept.
and only one other like housewife knew,
yeah,
about the whole
there was another woman, like she knew that she was in like
but she,
simulation.
yeah, and then like the main character, like Florence Pugh, she kind of her and hairstyles, right? But she got like kind of suspicious about it all because there was this one girl who was
Yeah,
it?
there
Like
was
this
another girl
unstable
who-
girl.
I guess she was unstable. Like
Or well, they
the
made
other
her.
girl was becoming suspicious of like what they were doing as well. So like she was going back to like like I guess their reality.
Yeah, it's because like it's like a little town. And you can't go outside. Like
Oh yeah, you can't go.
Go outside
you can't
the
go past a certain
barriers.
point.
yeah, because there's a train, and then like one day, Florence Pugh like she gets off the bus and she walks up like this mountain, where like there's this door, kind of like a glass window,
And that's where they go to go back to the reality.
like reality, and like I guess she got too close to it, and they like, oh, she's starting to like know stuff.
So they try to brainwash them all over again
Yeah.
to make them forget that they're
And
in
how
a
do they do
simulation.
that? Is it something I can learn?
How did they do that?
I think they did that thing where they like shocked them in their brain
That sounds wild.
with
That was a
the
good movie.
What
Electrodes.
I guess. You don't remember?
No, I don't remember what it was, but I think it was something like that.
One of my biggest fears is getting amnesia, like forgetting everything.
Oh, me too.
I mean, you wouldn't know.
That's mean.
Yeah, but like I've heard like stories of like, especially like on Unsolved Mysteries, they would show like stories of people that get amnesia and they just would disappear because they don't know how to get home.
Oh, that's so sad.
That's wild.
Yeah,
Like I wonder.
I'm gonna keep an air tag on you.
I should get an air tag.
Chip.
Yeah, I got a chip on you, Dad.
Just get it like surgically implanted, dude.
Yeah,
Little
Be
collars.
tracked forever.
where would you get it? Like somewhere that somewhere you wouldn't get chopped off in case you go to the
Probably
cartels.
like, I don't know, your neck.
I feel like you
Behind
just have
your
like
ear?
a random bulge.
Like a little one. Behind your ear.
I guess.
Yeah, when I was a kid, my grandmother would always tell me like, "There's gonna be a time in your lifetime where they're gonna want to put a chip on you. Don't let them do that."
For real? Like,
Yeah, my grandmother told me when I was a kid. This is like 30 years ago.
the mark of the beast.
Mark of the beast is in the Bible. In the Bible, it says that we're gonna be asked to be.
Receive the mark of the beast. on
Receive the mark
either
of the beast.
Your wrist or your forehead, something like
Yeah. So
that. The microchip.
I like what the heck.
Yeah, man. The Bible has some crazy stuff in it. Some really crazy stuff.
you know what? I actually saw like a TikTok the other day, and it was like, I forgot, like about a river that dried up, and then it's saying like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You know what it's called?
Yes.
What is
So
it called?
what Jenny's talking about was the Red Sea. The Red Sea, where Moses parted the Red Sea, and they were like, "Oh, this, obviously never happened." But then, the sea level dropped enough to where there was like evidence of chariots moving across that part of the Red Sea, where theoretically speaking would be like the most exposed for people to walk across if they were to like part the sea. So there's like broken pieces of like Egyptian chariots or whatever, which are in the story. Moses leads the I guess they're the Jewish people out of Egypt into like the promised land or whatever. He parts the Red Sea. As they're leaving, they're being chased by the Egyptians on chariots. Yeah. Collapses back. And then that's what they found. I mean, I don't know if you were talking about that, but were you talking about that?
Nope.
Oh, fuck. All right. Never mind.
I was talking about like
the river Euphrates.
that one.
Yeah.
Yes, that one.
Yeah. So another Revelations thing where the river Euphrates, or the Tigris and the Euphrates, like in modern day Iraq, back in the day Mesopotamia, apparently like angels were trapped, or fallen angels were like trapped under there. Right? Is this what we were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fallen angels were trapped under there.
Damn.
And one of the signs of the apocalypse is that this river would eventually dry up and they would be released. And there's a crazy ass video. This is maybe the one that you're talking about, where like you can hear like chains rattling or like people and
What
stuff
are,
like that.
what
Is
are
that
the
it?
fallen angels though? I don't know what. I've never heard of that.
So there's a lot of different concepts of what they are, right?
They're archangels, dominions, the powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the three I know.
Yeah, so like a fallen angel is essentially I think the most like, excuse me, the version of the Bible that's most accepted, are like the angels that chose to follow Lucifer when he rebelled.
Okay.
So like they were cast out of grace, right? Like thrown out of heaven. They landed, did their thing. They were a race of creatures that like took human wives and then created another race of things called the Nephilim, or like described to be giants and a bunch of other stuff. And they essentially taught mankind about like sorcery and like witchcraft and knowledge of like a bunch of other stuff.
Oh, okay.
And there's a version of the Bible that's not readily or not openly accepted, that's called or a part of it that's called the Book of Enoch, that talks a little bit more about all of that. And so when the flood happened in the traditional Bible story, in the way that the Book of Enoch tells it happened to like wipe out all of those races so that it could just be mankind again to restart. So,
okay.
Yeah, long story short, fallen angels, they followed Lucifer when he was cast out of heaven.
Wow. Y'all heard about that? Talking about wiping out. Y'all heard about the Brazil tsunami or something like that?
Yeah, I heard about that.
What?
That they
Was it you or dad that told us?
I
told
know.
you
One of you
about-
guys, you guys gave me the message.
What?
I think it was Jeff.
Yeah.
And then you told us probably.
No,
What?
I never spoke about it.
I think I told you about it, but I don't remember
Well,
Jeff saying anything.
regardless, like
Yeah,
what
yeah,
happened?
what
What
is-
happened with that tsunami? Like Brazil.
That in Brazil they were basically mocking Jesus, and it was like this. They were like dressed up as, like the devil, and like they were like basically like meeting Jesus. Like this man was dressed up as Jesus.
they were having
they
like
were
a parade or something.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then like I don't know how long, what was the time span, but then there was like a flood, and just like kind of like wiped a lot of things out. So I was like,
a lot
wow.
of people died.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's crazy.
And supposedly a week before that, there was like the Rio de Janeiro, like the statue of Jesus, like lightning struck, right? So lightning struck. Somebody captured an image of that. A week later, they have that parade where they're honoring Satan. They're like praising Satan.
Oh crap!
Right?
So it was like
Yeah.
that type of parade.
Yeah, it was that type of
It was
parade.
like a
A
whole
satanic
thing.
parade.
This is that correct? And then once that happened, like a day or 2 days later, like a flood happened and wiped out half of the city, or not half the city, but like
A part
all
of it or
yeah, all
something.
that area. That's what I saw. So I don't
That's
know
crazy,
how
though.
true it is, because you know how these things are nowadays. You can't believe everything you see on the TikToks.
On the Tic Tacs,
Yeah.
Tags. Yeah.
Shout out to TikTok for giving us exposure.
Thank you.
the Christ the Redeemer
That's where
statue.
That's where I had first heard about the Willow Project.
TikTok.
Yeah.
The Willow Project. I don't know. There's so many like insane videos there that I'm just like, has to be fake. Like, there's no way that this is real. There's
That's
a whole-
real.
I don't know. Like,
Like
'Cause I always
Bad
get-
Bunny dating Kendall Jenner.
That's where I saw those
Full
pictures
circle.
too.
Yeah,
I could
saw it on
Photoshop
Twitter.
it. I could Photoshop this.
you could deep fake it now.
I could deepfake it. Yeah.
Do them on a date now.
All right.
They go on their first date. caught on camera.
Yeah,
Something like
do
that. We'll post
Oh,
the
do
pictures.
like the AI voice that people have been doing.
Yeah, with Bad Bunny like talking to Kendall.
Yeah.
At Palenque Grill.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That'd be a good deep fake. Kendall Jenner and Bad Bunny spotted in Laredo, Texas, at Palenque Grill.
And then we'll like cut it.
Why don't we just invite like a Bad Bunny lookalike to the show, and like we just replace the whole time he's talking with Bad Bunny's real voice?
That'd be kind of cool.
Should.
That'd be
There's
crazy.
many Bad Bunny lookalikes.
There's a lot of Bad Bunny lookalikes in Laredo.
No, there's even some on TikTok that they go to like little parties to perform, and then they're calling him like small rabbit or something, like the good rabbit, or like
Can't hate the hustle, man. Somebody's out there working, making money. Respect to that guy.
I mean, if there's like Elvis impersonators and whatnot, like why not, right?
Yeah. There you go. That's a perfect example.
Like cover bands.
Mhm.
Screw it, dude. Just invite some
Good.
people.
true.
Amen. So we got is that a wrap for today?
Yes.
I think
We
so.
want pizza.
Oh
All
yeah,
right,
that's true.
We're about to
That's
eat
right.
some pizza. Thanks so much for checking in today. Much love. Make sure you like, subscribe, show us some love. Drop a comment. Tell us what you think. And if you have any questions or suggestions for topics, Jordan's going to read all the comments, do the research
I got you guys.
for next episode. We are going to do an AI episode coming up. So
Yeah.
stay tuned for that. GPT-4 got announced today. Biggest breakthrough in AI history. The world will never be the same. And we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Peace.